Alright, continuing the pyrrho thing. I was hoping enough time had passed to speed it up, but still the video is not providing that feature.
It actually goes beyond friendship. You can get away more with a friend, actually.
So this has something to do with some sort of, like, we're supposed to have interactions in a certain way, and the fact that those interactions degrade, it's like Holiday using the word arbitrary over and over again. There's a certain point where, you know, that's just calling me a bigot or something, or somebody manipulating the truth for my purposes. It's just an attack on somebody's credibility or their integrity, and those things are going to happen. We're gonna insult each other because we disagree, and the strength or our intensity of our passion for what we're arguing is going to bleed into the conversation, and yeah, eventually I'm not going to see anything but, you know, the little mustache here and Yavolts, and you know, I'm going to pigeonhole what I see taking place in terms of if I see glib. And like I said, that word bothers you, and it frankly should bother you as a reasonable person. To be called glib is to recognize that, yeah, what else? What does that mean besides sloppy, convenient, you know, selfish kind of thinking, not thoughtful, not complete, not correct. Yeah, so it's a loaded word, but it's sincerely thrown. So I'm just saying, regardless that this becomes a mud fight, I don't know how else to. Our vocabulary, I guess, just doesn't have the tools to make it possible to say, you know, I think your argument is vacuous nonsense, without saying something like, you're full of shit. Because, frankly, there's no way to say it. There's no way for me to describe how poorly formed I think your fucking argument is without saying your brain obviously creates poorly formed arguments. So you're obviously an idiot. So I'm just saying it's inevitable. How much of we should tolerate from each other is exactly my point. I'm just looking over it in the history of all these conflicts and all these arguments. I'm saying, what is the value of this? Like I said, I had some value in the mystic, in the sense that the mystic every now and then did shake my brain and rattle some ideas into formation. And as I've pointed out, you, on the other hand, have just been, you know, like Holiday. It's just this circular, continuous argument of the same bullshit over and over and over again, and it doesn't produce any value. Much. Like I said, the rare moments. Like I say, Holiday pointing out that you know, the thermodynamic problem with a kinetic system, that you have to have some element that changes in it. You know, because if it was purely kinetic, it wouldn't ever change.
I'm just asking you to admit, if you're going to talk to me, that I'm honestly trying to present terms, and yeah, they're technical.
Well, whatever. Again, you're going to make this argument again about how your terms are technical. I'm saying they're technical mush. You're saying love is a technical term? No, it isn't. You're saying Heisenberg is a technical term? No, it isn't. This stuff isn't technical in that it's not demonstrated or proven. People just, again, I will argue that all this stuff has been fucking, they keep referencing the two-slit experiment, when even that's a fraud. Not only does the experiment not prove anything, but the real experiment is the single-slit experiment. So they can't even identify the right experiment that's relevant, that's the one that creates anything that really has to be explained. Damn it. So don't tell me that you're making this precise, technical, clean argument. You're not. You're fucking appealing to authority, for fuck's sake.
And if I'm wrong, fine. I want you to call me on that.
Well, that's all I've done is call you on it, and you haven't responded with anything called a counter-argument. Nothing. I keep pointing out how there's single-slit interference, and you keep pretending that's diffraction, or that's Huygens, or, you know, there's some other catch, 22. No, that's not an argument.
To have that one-at-a-time detailed thing. You just want to have it on, you know, your words, with your new words, and also we can't really...
Well, that's all bullshit, too. I'm just saying that I don't care whether you want to come up with some word. I don't care. I'm describing the force. I'm saying, look, there's this thing, just like a photon, except not. A virtual photon that's not virtual, it's an actual ton, it just isn't visible. It just doesn't have a frequency, and so therefore it doesn't accelerate electrons the same way.
Pick at your definition and to try to make it more clear, because that's just doubting you, and you know, it's obviously already clear and proven. You know, your whole system is obviously just intuitive and great, and everybody could see that it was perfect.
Well, I'm just saying, go look up Mach gravity. I'll say it again. This was thought of 300 years ago. Somebody else thought of this, okay, before me. And yeah, the flaw was they couldn't make it work because of the thermodynamic problem. So again, because I didn't know there was something previous, I got around the thermodynamic problem. I saw the way to get around it because I wasn't programmed to think it was a problem. So I didn't have to make it a problem.
And yet you're still working on it, changing it.
Refining it. So again, you can use different words to describe the process. I'm refining it, but the basic idea of the constituent elements isn't going, none of that's going to change. The fact that gravity is a real force, like magnetism, and that like magnetism and gravity, they're real things like the force of light. Light is a force. The electromagnetic spectrum is force. It travels in a straight line at the speed of light. The exact same thing magnetism does, the exact same thing gravity does. That's not a coincidence. That's evidence.
But I'm talking to you for all these years when it's in this raw state, which it still is, still being worked on, which is great, that's fine. But then you act like it's this unchanging thing. Why am I always questioning you on it?
No, I don't mind you questioning me. That's not what you're doing. You're not questioning me. You're authoritizing at me. You're saying the authorities say this. They say this is the truth. They've debunked it. You've even said that something's been debunked. What? Show me that. Show me the debunk. Show me where particle gravity was actually debunked. Show it to me. It was debunked by reputation only. That's it. Feynman debunked it by thinking it was raindrops. Is that debunking? You first misdescribed the ultramundane particle as a raindrop? Is that ultramundane? Would anybody consider a raindrop an ultramundane particle? And they certainly wouldn't think raindrops were consistent, that they're all exactly the same size and have exactly the same force. So him analogizing it to raindrops is hardly doing physics.
And how is it useful to talk to me when my questions help generate answers? You come up with answers for it. In the case of the science stuff, totally bullshit.
Oh, right. So, yeah, my pointing out how the lensing evidence is weak, that's all bullshit. Well, I'm saying, no, your inability to concede the fact that the evidence is weak is the bullshit. Crazy
answers. But you think that you're doing something there, and it's from having a backboard. You don't know what the use of it is. I'm talking to somebody, you know, that's not going to threaten you in any way.
I don't even know what that means, but whatever. I'll say to that. Striped shirt.
Well, you ought to be able to figure that out. So, I'm not glib about it in general, or about life, or about anything. The only thing you can say that about, and that I'm helping.
Well, look, I mean, it seems incredibly glib to me, frankly. If somebody's going to talk about the fact that sentience goes all the way down, that not only are the insects sentient, but that the microbes are sentient. And when you think about the number of microbes, I mean, the insane number of microbes, and then to imagine, for me to imagine the little children microbes being slaughtered and killed and, you know, screaming in pain. To say it's not, the person doesn't have to be an insanely glib person to sit there and somehow be charmed by that fact rather than grotesquely horrified that I've just increased the magnitude of suffering on planet Earth by 1 billion or 1 trillion fold. 1 trillion times is bad a war. So I'm on the battlefield seeing the dead bodies, and then somebody informs me this is only 1 trillionth of the carnage. 1 trillionth. and I'm somehow happy. So yeah, yeah, my accusation of glib is fully appropriate.
And to kill the babies, you know, just like Hillary, is that my position in antinatalism, which is pro-choice.
Yeah, again, that's like being pro-choice on rape. So brilliant idea. I mean, you just pointed out why you are unacceptable, okay, as an anything. Pro-choice on rape. Fuck you. Pro-choice on exploitation. Fuck you. Pro-choice on again, you know, the very idea that you think nature's productive. That's the whole point of the glib argument. You think you're running a profit, that somehow this is a profitable enterprise. I have nothing to account for, so yes, make more of it. Everybody, hey, be pro-choice because it's profitable. It's like making free cookies. Of course, I'm pro-choice to the free cookie making, and that's why you're a glib motherfucker.
It's a pro-choice position.
Again, a pro-choice position, and you're just totally ignoring the victims. I'm one of the victims who says, look, my ignorant mother had no right to tell me life is worth living. She had no right to invest me in any of this shit. Why should she have any fucking pro-choice to create human beings? Why are you pro-choice on Frankenstein monsters? Why the fuck would any idiot be pro-choice on that? You're a fucking idiot.
With its personal choice. And
pro-choice on laboratory experimentation. Yeah, go ahead. Open the monkey's brain, poke at it, jerk at it, stick nails in its goddamn eyes. I'm pro-choice on exploitation, experimentation, convenient. I'm entertained by it. I think it's fun. Pro-choice on dogfighting, pro-choice on bullfighting. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
That means I'm the most terrible person in the world because you have this ladder where you climb to the top of the hill.
Yeah, any asshole who can't figure out that it's not a pro-choice issue is an asshole. That's right. You're a fucking asshole.
And say, look, there's really only one bad thing, and that is approving of people having children.
It's not the only bad thing, but it's the fucking ultimate cause. It's the fucking most obvious and easily prevented cause of harm there can possibly be. Don't get in a car and you're pretty much guaranteed that you're not going to have a car accident.
That way, me ignoring misery in the world, which, yeah, I'm going to back that up in a minute.
Back it up with more of your Band-Aid solutions that are never going to fix the problem.
You know, you get to ignore that.
Ignore what? Again, that you're going to bring up victims in the world and say you're going to fix the victims by putting more Band-Aids on their gunshot wounds. So instead of stopping the guns, instead of stopping the war, you're just going to keep putting Band-Aids on the wounds.
And I put it in the title, haven't I?
So another distraction, another pile of shit. I haven't said shit about Syria. I don't give a shit about the politics. It's religious kook against religious kook. There's no good choices. So unless you're going to install a civilization that is a secular, rational society, then there's no fucking option here. Just get the fuck out and let them kill each other.
Your policy on immigration, on refugees in particular, there's people in countries that are at war, which means, you know, exponential.
Right, so if we have a civil war in America, I shouldn't pick sides. I shouldn't say, yes, slavery does suck, I guess I have to fight for the Union. Instead, I should go sit in the corner and wait till the war's over and then exploit the fuck out of the damage. Is that what I should do in America? As an American, when there's a civil war in America, I should just go move to Canada for a few years and then move back after it's over and take advantage?
Sexual rape and mayhem. And they could be rescued from that war for relatively little. And just a lot.
Well, again, your assessment of relatively little. Look, I have made no videos on the subject of the Syrian conflict. This is not my fucking whatever game to play. It's all fucking Hillary Clinton and fucking Obama that made all this fucking mess in the first place. Let them pay for it. Hillary's a fucking millionaire. Let her pay for the refugees, okay? But she fucking made them, all right? And she made them for graft and evil fucking purposes. So let her clean it up. Let Clinton clean it up. Let the rest of the the liberocrats who fucking did this whole fucking Arab Spring bullshit, who went over there fucking killing and assassinating people because they were going to give freedom to people. Bullshit. They didn't accomplish a motherfucking thing. They just made the goddamn mess worse. Clinton killed 1 million fucking babies in goddamn Iraq by imposing motherfucking Bush's policy. He should have just ended it there. He should have just said, fuck this shit. Fuck the anti-fly zone. Fuck the whole fucking thing. Let's get the fuck out of there. So don't pretend I've advocated for the cause of this fucking mess. Alright? But I certainly don't have any goddamn empathy for religious kooks. So don't tell me I'm responsible to fix the messes religious shitheads make. Because I don't think I am in any rational way. We had to go ask France, okay, for help, you know, with the Civil War. We couldn't just demand it. Fuck you. This is bullshit. To tie me to this Syrian shit is bullshit. Alright, well, I have a little more time to stitch these two videos together, so I'll do a little more Pyrrho. Watched a little bit more of it. It's difficult for me, anyway. Anyway, so he just wants to give the Syrian refugees land, and it's, you know, it's free land. We don't need it. Like, it's not a problem. And, like, the immigrants aren't... I mean, I keep making this argument. I mean, culture is fragile. You don't want to believe that culture is fragile. Fine. I think that's ludicrous. I think history demonstrates it's fragile. And the divisiveness and the destruction of culture you can almost see in the Middle East was created by Islam. They got religion, and they went from being intelligent, scientific people to being barbarians and you know, killing everything in sight. Each other mostly. But you know, I'm just saying, I don't see any value in it. And the circumstances that, you know, there's no winners here. You can't solve the problem, I guess I'm arguing. No matter where you put the seed of Islam, it will grow bad trees. However you want to say that. And America is not strong enough. You think it is? I don't think it's teetering, okay, on becoming a third world country, and I don't think that argument is outrageous. And so if you think my lack of sympathy is for some other reason than the fact that I wish to preserve what I considered a country that landed on the moon and did things, and it did it because it had a cohesion, and that cohesion is slipping right through our fingers, in my opinion. I mean, you can judge the reason why I have the fear of the common person on this subject all you want, but you're not convincing me that it's irrational at all. Okay. I can just emphasize, religious kooks are just not good for America. Yeah, really bad for any kind of America I want to live in. Which is, you know, we finally got the Christians to shut the fuck up, essentially, in some respects, and, you know, it's all coming back. Alright, so now he's talking about Brett Keane for some reason, like I'm talking to Brett Keane. Well, Brett Keane's being relevant to subjects I'm interested in, which is the meaning of life, existence, and religion, to some extent. So those are conversations I don't mind having. The endless conversations with you about open borders and a land tax, you know, and parameciums that think, yeah, I'm done with those conversations, because there's no, you're more cement-headed than the religious kooks in some ways, or at least I'm just tired of it. I can say that. Maybe I'll be tired of Brett Keane's insinuations soon enough, but whatever. Yeah, too bad.
When you're talking to Brett Keane, you feel superior. Doesn't mean it rises very high, does it?
Well, whatever that feel superior thing is, again, so these are all accusations regarding my psychological intentions or something, or motivations or some other kind of crap, and, you know, you can go ahead and play that song, but it sounds like a garbage tune to me.
Yeah. No, it obviously doesn't. It's the ideologue like you that won't compromise. So yeah, I'm putting on you. It is your fault. I am willing to be and want to be friendly, and I'm going to be.
Well, again, your definition of friendly is different than my definition of friendly, and this incompatibility, it doesn't start yesterday. I mean, it's been the entire time I've known you. This has been really unpleasant. I mean, everybody makes a joke about it and stuff, like, haha, it's funny, yeah, Gary got upset again, Gary got upset again. But, I mean, my interactions with you are frustrating and irritating. I don't enjoy it.
In the sense of at least calm, and I'm not going to undercut any more than I ever do the things that I, still kind of like about you or find, like watching your videos or.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not saying anything draconian other than, yeah, I just will reduce I'll wait till you say something I really need to reply to, but otherwise, yeah, I don't want to play with you. You don't do anything good for me.
Any of the stuff, all of that's my predilections is, still unilateral. But it's certainly true that you're the ideologue. You describe that. You can't compromise on a thing.
I can compromise on a lot of things. I won't compromise on the core, and that's why I can't tolerate Trick, is because he's playing this stupid game with this idiotic idea that somehow he can make the consequences of value unmeaningful or something not a truth in the universe. The product of 2 plus 3. Well, the 5 is, we can change that number anytime we want. But we can't change the 2 or the 3. They're facts. And yeah, that kind of bullshit just rips the foundation of something. His perception of free will is fucked by, I can't remember what stupid thing he had some conditional crap in there that fucked that game. There's no point in punishing prisoners when we know deterrence works, no doubt about it. So it's a moot conversation because we're not talking about individuals living in an individual universe. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But yes, yeah, my intolerances for certain fundamental errors is complete, because if you don't get the foundation right, everything built on it is shit. So yeah, I'm a foundationalist. So you can be an idealist, and I'm going to be a foundationalist. If you don't get the core truth right, there's no point, because you're going to veer off into Daffy Duck eventually.
Like, you're not going to go build a playground because somebody disagrees with you on antinatalism. You're not going to...
Well, I'm not going to build playgrounds because, yeah, I don't think we need playgrounds. I'm a big fan of public playgrounds, so that's why I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's a good expenditure of money, so that's probably the reason I'm not going to build one.
Work with someone.
I mean, there's better things for kids to be doing than wasting their time spinning around in circles.
An IRV, make an IRV website or something, videos in favor of it or whatever, now that it's spreading, because somebody doesn't agree with you on this hypothetical red button. That part obviously is a pipe dream.
No, if you want to create some mechanism that I can support, I will support it. I'm just saying, going through you with conversations about these subjects is futile and tedious. So, yes, so... I'll push wherever I can help push, but we don't work very well together.
And so that's...
You make something, I'll push.
Yeah, obviously you're using that as a philosophical crutch so that you don't have to do those things. It's easier.
Another, accusation impugning my character, blah, 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 blah. Fine, I don't give a shit. Go ahead. Knock yourself out.
Sit here at home and talk to Brett Keane and make fun of him. And complain about how rude it is to belch in a video when you call people.
I make fun of him. I mean, not in any major way do I make fun of him compared to the fun making being made all over the place. So in that sense, I'm not. And the very fact that I did respond to his video is giving him some sense of, yes, I can forgive and forget. I don't give a shit about this past history shit. Once we know who we're dealing with, just don't let Brett babysit your goldfish. It's okay. So fuck you.
The liars, they aren't lying to you. You really mean they're wrong in your opinion, and you're worried about belches because you like to...
I'm not worried about it. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't bother you. It bothers me when somebody belches in my fucking face, and that's what only way I can consider it. I'm listening to somebody. I'm trying to, especially people who have inflections in their voice and whatnot, like Fake Sagan and Brett Keane. Sometimes it compels a little careful listening. And yeah, I don't like somebody belching in my fucking face.
Just have antinatalism. You can make antinatalism videos, and you don't even have to make those independent videos too much. But just don't go back to science. Another totally pointless contribution, if ever there was one, in terms of the particulars of what you're presenting.
Yeah, well, I don't even understand. So you have this, again, you go back and you vacillate in this critique. Oh, well, this is maybe useful, maybe not. I'm just saying I'll bury you on that subject eventually. So I'm so damn confident that, yeah, I'm going to rip you all you fuckers a new asshole. So go ahead, do some more of your superficial, vacuous, unsupported, undefended, unevidenced critique. Go ahead. Prove absolutely nothing, demonstrate absolutely nothing, alright, and it'll just give me more material to throw on you from the fucking mountain I'm going to build of something solid, fuckhead.
And again, why would you do that? You don't have time for help and actual suffering in the real world.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's another accusation. I don't have time for, yes, feeding cats every day. Helping neighbors, doing all the other bullshit I do. So fuck you. Fuck you and your fucking accusations. Fuck this.
But like Syrian refugees.
Yeah, well, again, you want to say I lack empathy because I have. It's like importing people with diseases or something, or people who got cancer. Yeah, you have empathy, but we got people that are homeless. We got problems, and they're not going to fix those problems. They're only going to make those problems less fixable.
You only keep me around because I'm an old trash can that you're used to. That's funny stuff. But you got a couple hours to watch Brett Keane videos and respond to him.
Yeah, I got into the Brett Keane thing because fake Sagan came back. If you can't understand that, then you're really stupid. I didn't go out and say, I got to go make some videos to Brett Keane. Did I do that? No. So again, and then Brett Keane came after me, and I defended myself. So what the fuck do you want, jackass? And again, what's wrong with Brett Keane when Brett Keane is on subject? I'm not doing drama videos with Brett Keane.
And I'm glib. Yeah, sometimes I might make a glib joke that, you gotta laugh at the harshness of life. You're actually glib. Your actual actions are glib. Right?
Well, let's also understand, if you go look at the Brett Keane video, it's pretty highly rated. It's a pretty, I guess, in a sense, his questions are creative enough and useful enough to glean some sort of useful information out of me. So again, he's somebody who's getting me to produce better content. He's not wasting my time arguing land tax for 765 years, or how stupid the idea of an open border is if you understand that culture is complex and delicate.
You'll go, no, you can't teach this up to me, and then you're going like, ooh, very careful with Brett Keane. Brett, let me answer your questions very carefully. It's reality. You should face it. You need a head check, my friend.
So yeah, why don't you ask questions like that? So why don't you ask me some questions then? Are those going to be the questions? When was the last time you had a head check? Did Brett Keane do that, jackass? No. How preposterous are you so clueless that you can't see how fucking preposterous your physics ideas are? You'd ask me that question, fuckhead.
Oh, that's right. We're not friends. I can accept that. Many people I've met in real life are not my friends.
I don't know what this whole meet in real life thing was. I said right when we were talking, I said, gee, this is just so fucking much like a video. I said it. What's the real life thing? Just doesn't, it just doesn't do the same thing it did for you, apparently, that it does for me. Breathing a little bit of the same air for, 3 hours just isn't that big a deal.
New language, you're doing it, right? I'm not actually doing it. The concept of locality and realism are 100 years old, and they're very technical. You say, well, they're not technical. Well, you have not yet learned the terms. So you say it's not explicit. And they're vague. No, you don't even know, as far as I know, because you won't repeat it or listen to it till the end of the sentence. So there's no reason to think you understand it. So you're saying all these things about it. Since you don't know what it is, it's obviously more like, well, it can't be over your head. But because you're like, I don't like the shadow that's casting, you're worried. You don't want to acknowledge and find out, oh, it does say something about my system. Which, of course, it would in the sense that your answer Like I said, you could reject the definition, you won't even learn it.
I don't even care. Again, I really don't. I just never thought I had that talking about physics means I have to say the word realism somewhere, or natural, or some other kind of stupid-ass bullshit word. I didn't know that was vital, frankly.
That's lazy, and it's hypocritical because, yeah, you're inventing pond, and you could go, no, but that's good when I do it. Yeah, but that's...
I mean, I really haven't heard any of your jargon, you know, frankly. When I watch the physics performances by the talking heads, the Mishiaya Cuckoos and whatever his name is, the bow tie guy and that guy and the other guy, I don't see any of them using this jargon.
The unfairness part of your attitude where you think you get to lay down everything. You can make new language. I can't even use old language.
Well, you can, but I'm again. What are your sacred words that I'm required to use? I'm required to use a word called realism. You don't see how that's a loaded term, for fuck's sake.
Though, of course, you know, I can and do use it, but I mean, you won't acknowledge that. You can call that a word game. Well, to me, you're obviously in a huge emotional evasion. Yeah, emotional. You're very emotional about it. Evasion mode. Okay.
Now, again, what am I evading? I'm trying to detail the nature of what physics is made out of, the subjects that are the key subjects to physics, and I'm just saying that you can only do one of these subjects at a time, realistically. So you got to keep your Heisenberg out of your, you know, thermodynamic conversations.
Relativity is about these relationships, and you say there is an absolute position, and that's just